From Bolt Bros here. Probably a subject that a lot of people will not like to talk about, but what if the Chargers traded Austin Ekeler? Kind of a little bit of a controversial topic. Hey, leader of the team, I get it. He's a stud, but let's talk about it. A lot of these little things about the draft talk and everything about what people want and such too. It could make sense. Let's get into it, guys. Bolt Bros, let's go.
Bolt Bros.
That intro cracks me up, man. But yes, so let's talk about Austin Eckler. I know we've kind of done some of these talks about Khalil Mack, Keenan Allen, Joey Bosa, all these other players here that have been on the team forever. But why not look at Austin Eckler? Why would you not think that he would be so safe to be able to be on this team? Now, once again, he counts about 7.5 million towards the cap. I believe as he's on his last year of his contract, of his official contract that he signed with us some years ago. He is going to be 28 when the season starts. If you really know anything about running backs, and when they're 30, that's kind of their point of where they start breaking down. Austin Eckler has been a rock for our team. I mean, an undrafted guy, great story, finding a way on this team. Anthony Lynn didn't even know his name when he was on the team. I believe he was wearing jersey number 1. And the 4th preseason game versus the Niners, he blew up, did a great job, showed out, and then found his way on the team. Has worked through Melvin Gordon, being behind him. That's definitely kind of helped them out to be able to get more acclimated to the NFL and finding a way to be able to be the starter, an absolute touchdown machine for us for the last 2 years. He's been very reliable, been very healthy for us. He's done extremely well on the pass game for us, pretty good with the run game. And I'm just going to kind of show you a couple things here because personally, why I'm bringing this up is because a lot of people are talking about Bijan Robinson trying to come here to the Chargers. Now, I'm going through a lot of subjects here, but let me just compare what Austin Eckler's done to, say, Christian McCaffrey. A lot of people say he's very similar to Christian McCaffrey, same kind of skill set and everything too. So let's talk about that. And let me pull up Austin Eckler's stats here. So here's Austin Eckler's stats of what he's had in the career. 2017 is when he came in as an undrafted free agent. Career 3,727 rush yards with 3,448 total yards with catches and such too. So I mean, last year, balled out. 107 catches, 722 yards, 5 touchdowns. You got basically 204 rush attempts, 915. I mean, man, I just love it if he gets up to that 1,000-yard mark, but 13 touchdowns on the ground. I mean, the guy is an absolute beast. With playoffs, he basically did another 20 touchdowns. Last year, 20 touchdowns total. Absolute stud. And then on top of this, I mean, he's pretty consistent as a pass catcher. He's almost had 2 100 receiving catches seasons in his career. I always thought that he should have been a slot receiver, in my opinion, and put in that position just for the sheer fact of him doing pretty good on routes and yards after catch. And I believe is actually leading the league in yards after catch too, which is wild. I mean, it's kind of easy when you're in the flat, catch the ball and run and make a couple people miss, but he's an absolute stud as a running back. Is he a true running back? Not really. He's kind of a little bit of a mixed kind of bag kind of guy of being a running back / wide receiver, maybe even wide receiver first versus running back. So really, really good player all around. He will be 28 when the season starts. You start thinking, hey, man, it's got a little bit of mileage on the car. Things start kind of breaking down a bit. I mean, the guy is a freak athlete. The guy knows how to take care of his body. I mean, he definitely has his own routine outside of the, organization. He finds a way to be able to really take care of his body. I mean, the guy is an absolute beast. So great player all around for us. I love the guy. Good, solid leader for us. I appreciated a lot of things that he said in the offseason of being critical about the team and such too. He's a great player. Now I'm going to compare Christian McCaffrey to Austin Ekeler. Are they the same player? Well, I mean, let's look at that. let's show you what Christian McCaffrey's done here. So Christian McCaffrey came into the league on 2017. He was an 8th overall pick in 2017. Christian McCaffrey has had some injury issues. He has signed a big contract with them. So, I mean, if you look at the past couple seasons with the Panthers, not full seasons by any means, still played very well. Still has had a couple big years of catching over 100-something catches a year. Absolute stud. Now, if you break this down as a career, he's not far off from Austin Ekeler. Very, very similar. Christian McCaffrey has got close to a 20 touchdown season. Got very, very close this year. I mean, he had 13 touchdowns total between Panthers and the Niners. Did extremely well. Had more rush yards, more effective on the ground, relatively close to the same attempts as Austin Ekeler. But stats aren't that far off from each other. I mean, they're very, very similar in the sense. Austin Ekeler has been more of a touchdown machine than Christian McCaffrey, but very similar guys. Once again, one was an 8th overall pick. One has an undrafted guy figuring it out. You got to appreciate what Austin Ekeler does. And also on the difference, too, there's a 1-year difference between each other. So he'll be Christian McCaffrey 27. Austin Ekeler will be 28. The height difference makes a difference and a little bit more of the weight difference there, too. So all around, very, very similar players. So remember what the Niners ended up doing. What did they do? What did they give up to be able to get Christian McCaffrey? Now, this is just the hypothetical side of things of what did it take for the Niners to get him? Well, Niners had to trade their 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and a 2024 5th-round pick to get him. Obviously, there's a contract absorption, too, that they had to manage. Hey, look, what's not to say, Austin Ekeler? Heck, what if we got a 2nd and a 3rd-round pick for this year? What if a team like, which say the Chicago Bears, they've been asking for another running back. They've been wanting to be able to work on that run game a little bit more. Austin Ekeler is a great safety blanket for whatever quarterback's there. Justin Fields probably would appreciate a guy like that. What if they take the salary off our books? We save $7 million, give or take, to the cap, which we know where we're at. And we go after a guy like Bijan Robinson. A lot of people are talking about him on that. Now, these are all hypothetical things, guys. We're just talking about scenarios here. Comparison to Christian McCaffrey and Austin Ekeler is kind of where market value, in my opinion, could be. What if we traded off Austin Ekeler and we got a 2nd and a 3rd-round pick? What can that do for us? Well, we could add a running back. We could add a trade up. We could get a tight end. We could get a linebacker, a defensive end. I mean, there's all these things that we could start really adding a lot of youth in this team. We do have holes to this team, and there are real situations ahead of us right now with our players right now. And so, once again, this is all hypothetical, guys. We're just talking about a scenario here where which could be possible. We could gain a lot from it too, by the way. So either which way, I want to show you guys that and what the comparison is and what potentially could be done. Now, let's go to talk about Bijan Robinson. What if we did get Bijan Robinson? I mean, he sounds like he could be in a position of being around the 21 pick. I mean, I'm seeing some mocks being us picking him. I'm seeing some mocks that the Eagles ended up picking him, which is a couple picks earlier than us. But what's not to say we just add that juice? I mean, a lot of people are talking about, Bijan Robinson being one of those guys where he could be a generational based talent. He could be one of those guys that could just really add a lot of juice to this team. He could be a Saquon Barkley for a team. So let's just talk a little bit about how it went for him at the combine. So here's an article on CBS talking about, running back winners and losers include Texas Bijan Robinson, Alabama's Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, it's interesting because we all saw what the Chiefs did with the 7th-round pick as a running back. I mean, speedy guy over there for the Chiefs. I mean, you could find talent late in the draft. Running back is kind of one of those positions that hasn't been as high level as getting to a top 5 pick or anything these days. But there's a lot of talent out there, guys. Like Bijan Robinson, did he win or did he lose in the draft? Or did he just stay where he's at? 40-yard dash. Once again, underwear Olympics here, guys. Everybody runs pretty fast in underwear, by the way. But I do look at it on field makes a big difference all around. There's take things as grain of salt with combine and everything here. But Bijan Robinson, he did a 4.46, 40-yard dash, 37-inch vertical, 10 foot 4 inches broad jump, 10-yard split, 1.52. Now you look at Jahmyr Gibbs out of Alabama, actually a 1/10 of a second faster for the 40-yard dash, a little bit shorter of a vertical jump, but the same as 10-yard split as Bijan Robinson. Tyjae Spears has been one of those guys. There was a lot of talk at Combine that he could be kind of that next guy to be a solid running back all around for whatever team. 39-inch vertical jump, 10-foot 5-inch broad jump. I mean, he's starting to kind of say he's got a bigger vertical jump than Bijan Robinson, a little bit bigger of a broad jump. Now, obviously, he didn't do the 40-yard dash and such too, but a lot of people are talking about that he could be very, very fast too. So Bijan Robinson, if you add the guy to him and say pick 21, if we decide to do that, you're adding a guy that's a pretty solid player all around. There's a lot of people in our chats talking about Bijan Robinson needs to be the guy. He has to be the guy. Well, if we want to get young in that position, I know we got Isaiah Spiller, which was kind of a guy we don't really know yet, by the way. You got Joshua Kelly too, who plays really well. And I think he's really a third down back. Bijan Robinson could be one of those guys that could really add a lot of juice to our team. I love Austin Ekeler. He's a phenomenal player all around. And I do not want him to go. But at the same side, guys, things have to change at some point. And, sometimes you sell high at this point. How Austin Ekeler has not gotten to a Pro Bowl is beyond me. I don't get it by any means at all. And to be honest, he needs to be in the Pro Bowl. It's crazy what that guy needs to do to be able to get in there. But I wanted to show you just some Bijan Robinson stats just to say, what are we going to lose? What are we going to gain? Well, we might get a guy who's a fast receiver, or fast running back. And then we would add a guy that, bottom line, could block too. Austin Ekeler does a phenomenal job with that, by the way. But we're getting a younger guy all around. Like, once again, if you've seen some of his videos and seen him in games, I mean, the guy's an absolute stud, missing tackles and such too. Finds a way to be able to get out there with his speed. Just an all-around athlete. The guy, 2020 last year, 1,580 yards, 18 touchdowns. He does have a little catch ability too. I mean, obviously in college, sometimes it's not really as relied upon for all teams, but he could be a guy that adds a lot of juice to this team and give us a true running back all around. Even to say 2021, he did really well out there too. Still did a great job. Averages are very high, 5.8, 8.2, 6.1. I mean, the guy can be an absolute beast for us. So now, once again, 21, do we want to say running back is a need, or is that really a hole or a need that we need to do, or even to create an issue? I'm not sure on that. So just wanted to throw that out there, guys. Austin Ekeler, say if he was traded, we get a second and third round pick. We could add more talent to this team all around. We could get younger at that position. We could get a true running back in that position. Isaiah Spiller, we don't know what to expect with him so far. He's pretty solid as a running back, but do we get younger at that position? Do we let go Austin Ekeler? If somebody comes to us and says, hey, we'll take a second and third round pick, we clear up some cap space for us, so on and so forth. So anyways, throwing it out there, guys. Just want to hear what you guys think. Austin Ekeler, what if he got traded? Would you guys be okay with that, going after Bijan Robinson? So let's talk about it, guys. Keep it going. Like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate all the support, guys. Bolt Bros, let's go.